Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 999 Gaming. I want to do a video for The Walking Dead Road to Survival, and this is called Scopely Speaks About Beta. So this is the official Scopely response on the forum threads, response to some of the issues with Supply Depot, with beta, with the rollout, some of the issues in the game. So I'm going to go through and just read the official response. You guys can scroll through, read it at your own leisure. I'll probably stop a couple times just to question some of the thought process behind this. But I'll also leave it open for you guys to leave in comments and hopefully come up with some ideas to really give some pushback, some feedback, and really improve this process. But I was shocked, honestly, when I read some of this response. So here it goes. I'm going to read it to you guys. Feel free to leave comments at various intersections. Hey guys, thanks for all your feedback and concern around the Supply Depot feature. Over the past several days, I've taken this to the team and we spent many hours discussing it all over the past few days. We see clear opportunities to be more transparent with all of you, to improve in how we run our beta program, and to engage with all of you for feedback, having clearly explained our design choices and intent. I have a lot to cover, so please bear with me. Why are we adjusting the Supply Depot? Removing the ability to sell 1- and 2-star weapons for supply points is the first of several changes we're deploying to the way Supply Depot works. In light of that, I want to shed a little light on what our goals are with this feature. The Supply Depot has two key purposes. It should give all players an opportunity to save up for choice items they know they want, and it should reinforce the value of the game's rarer items by letting players reinvest items they don't want towards getting items they do. At the same time, we need to ensure that it doesn't disrupt the various economies present in the game, and it doesn't do too much to undermine the values of the prizes we offer in the various events and activities we run for you, because contests need good prizes. I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to address several of these issues. I'm going to try not to make this a rant, but I am going to agree with you, Scopely. Contests need good prizes. So when are the contests going to get good prizes? You throw a bunch of 3 stars out there in Saviors. You throw a bunch of recycled 4 stars. You run Glenn's Hunt 3 times, so the same people can get 3 or 4 4-star Glens. When are the good prizes going to happen? The next patch? The next patch? You have plenty of opportunity to give good prizes, but you refuse to do so because of what you said earlier. You want to emphasize the rare items. The fact of the matter is you need these 5 stars to have prestige. You need it to be the character that people can't get. Early in the game, when you're trying to lure players in, 5 stars were much more evident. Weapons were much more evident. And now you got millions of players. The rarity of these are much higher now than they were when the game first rolled out, because you didn't want to push people away before they started playing, and now that you got them playing, you want to add a little bit of prestige to it. I get it. The second thing I want to address is you don't want to disrupt the various economies present in the game. Why do I care about the economies present in the game? You care about the economies. Disrupting the economies is a Scopely issue. It's not a player issue. I could care less if John Doe has 10,000 coins. I could care less if RX has 50 5-star characters. I could care less if Bluey has 50 3-star characters. It makes no difference what they have. Players may talk about it and say, I don't want this player who's a free-to-pay player having a better chance than me. But guess what? There are a lot of free-to-pay players that have a lot better items than me, and I've spent a ton of money on your game. So your economies mean nothing to me. The only thing that means anything to me is whether I like your game and whether I'll continue to play your game. And if players are telling you they don't like a feature, you might want to spend a little bit more than the few hours over the past few days discussing this. I'm going to move on, and we'll discuss that in greater length a little bit later. We're tuning the system explicitly around the rate people will be able to get stuff through in-game means. This feature isn't meant to create a new grind everyone has to do. Trading in 1 and 2 stars drives people to do just that, so we don't allow it. We want players to get supply points regularly, but through less labor-intensive channels. In the later game, through the training grounds, and throughout the progression from events and activities, where we're planning to include frequent supply point rewards from now on. All right, I'm going to stop with that as well too, and say, if players aren't farming 1 and 2-star weapons, they're going to be out there farming 3-star weapons. So the grind is still going to be there if you allow them a trade-up feature. So this is completely false. In fact, I would argue just the opposite. If players were able to trade up 1 and 2-star characters, they might only grind up to a certain point to get a good character so they could use that character and then in turn level it up. But the truth of this is, if they're out grinding 1 and 2-star and you allow them to roll that up, you're not going to sell as many packs. And that's really what you're after, is selling the bags and selling the packs. So if you were actually more transparent, again, like you said in that third sentence or fourth sentence up near the top, then you would just be truthful and say, we don't want to give away stuff because we want you to still buy the packs. I would accept that instead of all this stuff that talks about how you're disrupting the economies and you don't want to make people grind. I'm sure you really care about how much time I spend grinding the levels that are out there, especially when a lot of people could be spending world energy to do those grinds. So to me, you're probably losing on the fact that raise the price of world energy. Leave the grind and charge them more for world energy refills. Kind of a win-win situation. You guys can mail me the check later, Scopely. I have better ideas. Let me say this next sentence. On the whole, the Supply Depot is meant to provide a stronger value for everyone, and I hope you'll agree that it does, and at no real cost. The arrogance of that statement is mind-boggling. Let me interpret that for you. We're giving you a Supply Depot, and it doesn't cost you anything, so hope you'll agree. I don't agree. I think you rolled out the Supply Depot, you found out that people would go out there and game it, revenue drops, and you decided to modify Supply Depot. That's the reality. Moving on, why don't we hold beta for iOS users? While we'd love to run beta programs for iOS users, it would mean adding weeks to the production of every new feature, and we'd rather test relatively small devices internally and bring the features to the entire audience. So, you don't want to add weeks to production because your people are too busy doing what? Creating Veterans Day bags, creating Thanksgiving bags, creating Black Friday bags, creating Cyber Monday bags, creating Christmas bags, creating President's Day bags. Seriously. Rolling out a new character every day. There's a Rocky, and there's a Derek, and there's an Annie, and there's a Rick, and there's another Rick. So your developers are busy creating new artwork for these new characters that you have to roll out to get people to buy packs. That's why you don't have the time to properly test these features and roll them out and give people something that they actually want, which the Supply Depot concept was so popular that I had loyal viewers ready to push me off a ledge because I was speaking badly about Supply Depot. Ironically, I was right on point talking about Supply Depot because I knew it was too good to be true. And it would be a watered down version of what it originally was rolled out for. Moving on, how can we make our betas better? There are many reasons we run beta testing programs: to gauge performance, to find issues in the wild. I think people, you don't have to say this, people understand why you run betas. To support this, we're expanding and enhancing the way we operate our beta program step by step over the course of testing our upcoming releases. Over the next few months, we've been taking 2 specific steps to address some of your concerns. We'll be posting detailed notes so our players know what we are preparing to release. New features will be more strictly limited to the beta region. So, okay, there's the transparency. I'll give you credit for that. The beta testing process is never truly smooth. We get that. We think these steps will help with that. We'd welcome any suggestions you'd care to make in improving the process. While I have Scopely's ears and listening, give us some transparency on 5-star drop rates for your packs. That would be a good transparency. You are definitely increasing the value and the rarity of these characters. I'll give you credit for that as well too, but at what cost? And I think that the lack of participation is not just because the Supply Depot. It's not just because there's a few unpopular choices. The less in participation is because there are many players that continue to feel slighted over and over again. I do want to reinforce in my response to Scopely, because this is your response, but I'm responding to your response. Your game is great, and you know that. And because your game is great, you might be pushing it a little bit too far. There's a fine line between having a hit game and having people start to go elsewhere. Wake up and listen to your players, because your players, even on this forum, are telling you that in droves, they're going to flock to other games. And sometimes you got to bite the bullet a little bit, and you got to back off, and you got to make it fun for people again. So a couple suggestions I'm just going to throw out there, and I said this in another video. If you truly want to do contests at good prices, offer a 5-star event. Players have been screaming for it for a long time. I don't care that 50 other players, maybe a few of your elitists are going to get pissed that, some free-to-play player has the opportunity to get a 5-star. So that's such a small percentage of the people that are out there. And they don't know. There's not disclosure. They don't know that John down the street has a 5-star character. But it creates engagement. It gives people something, and it might make them level that character and want a little bit more. So that's a suggestion from me. The other thing is stop pretending that you're something you're not. You're a greedy company that wants to drive revenue. People know it. You don't have to come out in a letter like this and just say it, but at the same time, you don't have to say a bunch of other stuff that clouds the issue and say that you're worried about disrupting the various economies in the game and you don't want people farming. Because I don't think anybody's buying that. I think people understand the Supply Depot was too good to be true. You've had to remove some features because players are spending more time farming and less time spending. That's the reality. Buck up to it, admit it, but then give players something back in return. That's all they're asking. My name is Killshot from 999 Gaming. Leave your comments below. I appreciate you guys listening to this video. I appreciate the time, the attention, the detail. I definitely would like for all of you guys, it's a give and take, put more pressure on Scopely to hold to this transparency that they said that they want to provide to everyone. More forum posts by them would be great, but also there's going to be more scrutiny as they comment on more issues. Thanks again. Give this video a thumbs up, even though what's his name that spells his name funny doesn't like when I ask people to give thumbs up. Just keeping it real. Talk to you guys later. Peace.